Runecraft is a sacred power said to have existed since the dawn of mankind. The chosen ones born with runecraft defied the natural order with supernatural might. They reigned as leaders of all things. Under the rule of the chosen ones, the ancient people praised runecraft as a blessing bestowed by the gods. It was hailed as a miracle. However, among the countless runes in existence, there was one rune treated as a curse. This was the Azura rune. The scene shifts, and we see a boy with the Azura rune on his back running. The boy was heavily injured, and he had several arrows sticking out of him. He was running away from some people. The people asked him to stop. After seeing that he had gotten far away from them, they asked him to never show his face in their town. They called the boy a monster. The angry mob watched him as he ran into the snowfield. Even after getting away from the mob, the boy did not stop running. He didn't know where he was going, but he kept moving. He knew that he would die if he stopped moving. Since ancient times, those born with the Azura rune have always brought ruin to the world. At daybreak, the poor boy eventually collapsed out of exhaustion. He was bleeding out on the cold snow. Before he lost consciousness, he saw a blurry image of some people running towards him. The people seemed to be shocked to see someone covered in blood. Unfortunately for the boy, he couldn't move again. A man and his family moved close to him. The man asked his daughter and wife to use their runecraft to heal the boy. The poor boy lost consciousness before he could say anything. 7 years later, we are taken to a village. We see an old man and some people telling two men that there is no one with the Azura rune in their village. He reminded them that they have already looked through every shack in the village. He told them that it is time for them to get lost. The bald man and his comrade turned around. The bald man said that they are leaving. He told the old man that he is loud. After leaving the village, the two men went to report to their superior. The bald man informed him that there aren't any rune casters in the region. Their superior stretched out his hand and asked the bald man to move closer to him. When the man moved close to him, the superior shoved his hand into his body and crushed his intestines. The bald man spat out a large amount of blood. His comrade was shocked to see this. He screamed and called out to him. The superior watched as the bald man fell to the ground. He said that it is impossible for people like them, who have no runecraft or mana, to find his target. The being with the razor-sharp teeth said that he can smell it. He said that he can smell the reek of ruin. Later in the day, we see two people call out to some people known as Van and Linda. They told these two people that the two men are gone. Van and Linda came out of a tree trunk when they heard this. They were relieved to be finally able to catch their breath. The people that called out to them were the couple that saved our boy 7 years ago, and Linda is their daughter. The boy with long black hair is our protagonist. His name is Van. Van apologized to Linda's father for making the weird people come there again. The man smiled and told him that no one around there cares about that. His wife gently touched Van and Linda and told them that they are covered in dust. She asked them about why they always hide down there. Linda smiled and said that Van likes it there. Van smiled and turned to the tree. He revealed to them that this is where they saved him 7 years ago. He said that this is his favorite place in the whole village. Linda's father placed his arm around his neck and called him a precious kid. He turned to his wife and asked her about how the wedding preparation is going. She informed him that she is done. She said that they will start as soon as the sun sets. Later in the night, we see everyone gather around a large campfire in the forest. They designed the trees with lanterns. Van nervously stood in front of the fire. He wore a headband made out of leaves. He was standing in front of Linda. The girl seemed to be very happy. Her father told the two of them that they are now husband and wife. He asked them to say their vows in front of everyone. Linda told the people that she will make sure her husband is dried and happy so that he will forget how to cry. The villagers began to cheer for her. Van apologized to them for putting them in a tough spot again today. At the villages Van passed through, plagues, wars, massacres, and disasters never ended. Wherever he went, the screams of pain and despair followed. The poor boy couldn't settle down anywhere. If the villagers hadn't taken Van in, he would have died 7 years ago. Our boy told the people that he is not certain if it is okay for them to accept someone with the Azura rune. The moment he said this, Linda gave him a heavy punch on his face and asked him to shut up. Van fell to the ground when he received the punch. Linda told him that they would have never accepted him if they were really scared of him. She revealed to him that they were actually worried when they first met him 7 years ago. However, when a real crisis hit the village, he protected all of them by himself. Linda told her husband that they already decided not to worry anymore. She smiled and assured him that they will get through any crisis that comes at them together like they did in the past. The villagers laughed and told Van that they will protect him for life. One of them said that he is too soft. He wondered about how he was going to handle a girl like Linda. Van stood up and faced his wife. Linda's mom told them that they need to finish the wedding. Van told the girl that he loves her. Linda told him that she loves him too. They gently kissed after saying this. Immediately they did this. The mysterious being appeared. He released his energy and said that he feels like crying. The moment he said this, a large explosion took place in the forest. When Van opened his eyes, he saw his hands covered in blood. When he raised his head up, Van saw something horrifying. The ground was filled with dead bodies. Everyone was covered in blood. Van fell to the ground and screamed out. He couldn't comprehend what was happening. He didn't understand why this was happening now. He was horrified to see the sea of bodies in front of him. He saw Linda's father, whose name is Partel, lying on the ground. He called out to her dead mother, whose name is Kara. Van did not know what to do. He stretched his hand out in fear. He said that he doesn't know what is happening. Immediately he said this. The mysterious being appeared behind him and greeted him. Van was shocked to hear his voice. The man gave him a punch that sent him flying. Van hit his body on the ground and slammed his back on a tree. The man dragged Linda's injured body on the ground and sang a song about Van hiding his Azura rune. He said that all hidden things will show eventually. Van asked him about who he is. He asked him about why he is doing this to them. The man told him that he doesn't need to know the reason. He told Van that he has business with him. He revealed to Van that there is someone who needs the true ruin of his Azura rune. He told him that he wiped out every nearby village thoroughly because survivors will be annoying to take care of. Van was shocked to hear this. The man assured him that this is nothing personal. He said that he is just doing what he was told. He asked Van not to hate him too much. Immediately he said this. He covered our boy with his energy. He revealed to him that this is a pocket dimension prison prepared for him by someone. He explained to him that 1,000 years or 10,000 years doesn't mean much in the prison. He told Van that he will let him out when the time comes. He asked him to wait and be good. He told Van that he actually doesn't know when the time will be. Van stretched out his hand, but the branches created by the man's energy held him down. He quickly turned to his wife. He saw Linda moving her mouth. She was telling him something. She gently smiled after talking to him. Van stretched out his hand when he saw her smile. Unfortunately for him, the pocket dimension prison wasn't going to let him go. Tears poured out of his eyes as the pocket dimension prison closed up. The prison took the shape of a sphere and locked Van in its dimension. Inside the prison world, we see Van lying lifeless on a huge rock. He wondered about what the man meant when he talked about the true ruin. Van always wanted to believe that there was more to his life other than a single rune. He realized that there was never a way out for him from the very start. He told himself that his very existence only brought ruin and death. He realized that there was never a way for him to escape this fate. He wondered if Partel, Kara, and Linda would have survived if he just accepted his fate a little earlier. For the first time in his life, he wanted to believe that things would be different. He wanted to try living a normal life. Van told himself that his vain hope and greedy wish killed everyone. Immediately he thought of this. Numerous spirits surrounded him from all angles. Van didn't move. He was too broken to do anything. He simply told the spirits that he was sorry. He said this thousands of times. He asked the deceased not to forgive him. Inside his head, Van wondered if a God exists. He wondered why God would inflict such a cruel fate upon him. He quickly realized that he is wasting his time. He wondered about what the gods could do for him now. He was quite tired. He was in so much pain. He was tired of life. He closed his eyes and hoped that he would die peacefully. The moment he did this, he remembered his wife telling him that it is not his fault. Even though blood was pouring out of her eyes, Linda still smiled and told her husband that she will love him forever. Van opened his eyes when he remembered this. He pushed himself up. His shirt tore apart and his hair grew longer. He disagreed with Linda and said that this is his fault. He opened his eyes, which had turned red, and asked himself about why he is searching for peace. He told himself that he is spouting nonsense. He couldn't believe that he wanted to end things and take the easy way out. He raised his head and screamed. He told himself that he cannot die yet because he still has something to do. With a horrifying look on his face, Van said that he still has to get revenge. He remembered the dead bodies he saw. He remembered people always telling him that the Azura rune invariably brings ruin. Van screamed and said that he doesn't care anymore. He said that no ruin can be worse than this. He remembered the man telling him that someone needs the true ruin of his rune. Van screamed and released a terrifying energy. He said that he will make the person feel the ruin by himself. He promised to show them what true ruin is. He remembered the village people and the family that took care of him. He asked them to give him a little more time. He promised to join them after he gets his revenge. In order to get his revenge, Van had to get out of this pocket dimension prison. He forced himself to stand up. The spirits in the prison materialized. They took the shape of monsters with numerous heads. They all charged at him at the same time. They told him that they are dead because of him. They asked him to die. Van released a dark energy. He promised to take his revenge even if it takes him 10,000 years. He swore with a face filled with pure hatred. The moment he did this, Van began to fight the demons. He used his hand and leg to damage and kill them. 200 years later, we see Van still fighting the monster. He was still tearing them apart after 400 years. 600 years later, we see the monsters take the shape of a huge, grotesque creature. It was a giant with thousands of heads. Van stood in front of this monster. He was still filled with pure hate. The boy who would walk the Azura path now danced in ruin. Although Van had gotten stronger, he still didn't know the true power of the Azura ruin. In the 999 year, we see Van charging at the huge, grotesque monster. The monster used its hand to slam our boy to the ground. Van stood up. He was covered in blood and filled with despair. Endless agony befell him. Yet the fire of vengeance in his heart did not go out. He charged at the monster. The monster raised its hands and smashed our boy's body on the ground. The entire dimension shook when it slammed Van to the ground. The monster raised its hand up. It was soaked in blood. Van was lying on the ground with his bones crushed. He was slowly losing consciousness. Our boy remembered asking Linda about her dream in a field. The girl told him that she wanted to become his wife and make her parents his in-laws. She said that she wants one son and one daughter. She stood up and revealed to him that she wants to get a home where he will always come back smiling. A gentle breeze blew and made the flowers move around her. Linda told him that she also wants to get a fence to keep him safe. She smiled and told Van that this is her dream. Van fully opened his eyes when he remembered this. The moment he did this, the true power of his rune got released. A crazy-looking demon smiled when this happened. Van screamed out in pain as his body pushed itself up. A dark energy got released from his body. His energy dragged some of the bodies on the ground and placed them on his body to create something. A huge explosion took place in the prison. When the smoke cleared up, we see Van in a new black armor. Our boy knew that this was the true power of ruin. The god of ruins, whose name is Azura, used the power of ruin to summon the armor known as helms. Van walked forward. He realized that no one would have died in the past if he had this power. He clenched his fist and took a stance. He smiled at the monster like a crazy person. He raised his hand and punched the air. His punch pierced the monster's stomach and sent it flying. It slammed its back on the ground. Van jumped and clenched his fist. He covered it with his energy. He activated the first manifested armament. He activated a technique known as Annihilation Fist through the armament. To use Annihilation Fist, Van is given a gauntlet imbued with the power to annihilate matter at the particle level. The destructive power of the technique depends on the user's mana. Van gave the monster a bone-shattering punch on its head. The monster grit its teeth, but it was unable to withstand Van's attack. Our boy crushed it with his fist and destroyed the ground. A large-scale explosion took place in the prison. In the outside world, we see a woman begging 3 bandits to spare her. She told them that she doesn't have any money. The bandits had already killed her husband. Their leader bent down and told her that he will simply take a few organs. The moment he said this, Van appeared behind him. Our boy's body was covered with different black lines which were left on him by his rune. He told the man that he has something to ask him. The leader turned around when he heard this. Van asked him about the year they are in. The man was surprised to hear this. He stood up and smiled. He placed his hand on Van's head and called him a curious young man. He told him that they are in the 1500 year. He asked him about why he is asking. Van didn't answer him. He was trying to calculate the time he spent in the prison. The man's comrade moved behind him and raised his weapon. The leader nodded at him when he saw this. The man slammed his mace on Van's head. Unfortunately for him, his mace shattered. Our boy wasn't even bothered about him. He realized that only 5 years has passed in the mortal world. The man was shocked to see what happened. The other bandits were also shocked to see what happened. With a scary look on his face, Van turned to the man who attacked him. He turned to the other two and gave them heavy punches. The men were unable to move. Van covered his fist with his gauntlet. He moved past the men and gave them light punches. However, these blows were too much for them. The upper halves of their bodies got blown away. Only their legs fell to the ground. The last man knew that he was dead. Van turned and called out to him. The man quickly answered him. With a smile on his face, our boy told the man that he has a question for him. On the continent of Aten, countless kingdoms have been founded there with the power of runecraft since ancient times. Among these kingdoms, there is a kingdom praised as the greatest kingdom in the history of Aten. This kingdom is the Zoe Kingdom. The Zoe Kingdom has dominated the continent as a hegemony for many years. They relied on their overwhelming military strength. The scene shifts, and we see Van showing the man an image of the mysterious man. The man informed him that the clothes worn by the mysterious man is only worn by sorcerers affiliated with the royal family of the Zoe Kingdom. Van asked him if he has really seen him. The man who was hanging on a tree smiled with broken teeth and assured our boy that he has seen the mysterious man. He said that he can't lie. Van asked him to share more details with him. The man revealed to him that a mercenary named Kezarak visited the leader, whose name is Digiol, and gave them a request 5 years ago. Kezarak said that the request came from some big shot. He told the leader that the request is nothing special. He explained to him that he needs to find someone and clear a few villages. He assured him that he will pay him a lot of money. He asked him if he will take it. Although Kezarak said that it is a big shot, the bandits did not expect it to be a sorcerer from the Zoe Kingdom. There was no reason for them to refuse, so they accepted the request immediately. Since they were bandits, this wasn't a big deal for them. They easily cleared the villages and left no traces behind. The man said that it was tough for them to burn all the corpses because there were so many. He told Van that they were still able to take care of them. After they were done with the job, Kezarak paid them and left immediately. Van asked the man if there was a girl with short orange hair among the corpses. The man said that there was. He told our boy that the girl caught his eyes instantly. He said that her corpse was probably burned too. He said that it was a shame because she was so pretty. He told Van that she would have fetched a high price if she was sold as a slave. The moment he said this, our boy remembered his wife and his in-laws. The man realized something odd. He asked Van about how he knew about the girl. The moment he said this, Van gave him a bone-shattering punch. The scene shifts, and we are taken to the bandit den known as Digiol Mountain Hideout. We see the bandits beating up slaves and moving them to different places. They locked some kids up in a wooden cell. One of them said that the kids are quite fresh. Another one said that they have been very rebellious. He called them trash. Their comrade told them that they sell better if they are livelier. While the bandits were carrying out their usual operations, someone knocked on their gate. One of them quickly opened a small opening in the door. He saw the face of the man who received our boy's punch. The man said that he brought drinks. He asked the guard to open the gate quickly. The guard asked him about why he is so late. He told him that he has been gone for ages. He opened the gate and asked him if he brought back something awesome. The moment he said this, he received a punch from Van on his face. Our boy threw away the head of the man who he beat up earlier. He pushed the guard inside and crushed his head. The other guard raised his mace and swung it at Van. Our boy blocked it with his hand. The man swung his mace at Van multiple times. He called him a bastard and asked him about where he crawled out from. Van easily dodged his attacks and moved closer to him. He clenched his fist and covered it with his energy. He asked the man to shut up. He gave him a bone-shattering blow and destroyed part of their gate. The bandits all turned to the gate when they heard a loud sound. They saw Van walking towards them with the head and body of their comrades. He called them insignificant pests that have gathered to play bandits. He threw the head and body of their comrades in front of them. He asked them about where their leader is. He said that he wants to talk to him. The bandits took out their weapons. They wondered if our boy has lost his mind. One of them asked him if he knows where he is. A huge man wearing a fur coat asked them to step back. One of them turned to the man who turns out to be their leader and assured him that they can handle the situation. Digiol called him an idiot and asked him if he wants to lose his life. He said that our boy is a sorcerer born with runecraft like him. He asked his subordinate to step back. He asked Van to tell him what he wants from him. Van reminded him that he did a job for a sorcerer in the Zoe Kingdom 5 years ago. The meeting was arranged by a mercenary known as Kezarak. Digiol was impressed that Van was able to get this much information out of his subordinates. He asked our boy about what he wants. Van pointed at him and asked him to tell him where Kezarak is. He assured him that he will spare them if he does this. The man told him that he will tell his corpse where Kezarak is. Immediately he said this. He covered his hand with his energy and gave Van a very powerful punch on his face. The attack sent Van flying. Digiol told our boy that he should try hiding his magic power that is covered in killing intent if he is going to lie that he will spare them. The moment he said this, his body completely transformed. Digiol has the blade rune. It gives him the ability to cover his entire body with sharp and hard blades. The bandit told Van that he is going to die there. Our boy already knew that he couldn't get through to the bandits with a conversation. He stood up and glared at the man with a scary look in his eyes. Immediately he did this. Van appeared in front of Digiol in an instant. He gave him a bone-crushing punch in his chest. The man spat out a large amount of blood. Van quickly gave him another punch. He asked Digiol if he is only this strong. The man grit his teeth out of anger. He called Van a bastard. He clenched his fist and swung it at Van. He asked him to die. Our boy easily dodged his attack by moving back. Digiol called him a rat bastard. He put his arms together and began to spin at a crazy speed. He fired his blades at Van. He told him that he won't go easy on him anymore just because he is a young sorcerer. Digiol watched as his blades hit Van. He asked him about how it feels to have his body torn apart. He believed that our boy won't be able to take a single step forward. To his surprise, Van was walking towards him. He asked our boy about how he is able to move. He asked him if he doesn't know pain. Our boy slowly covered himself in his armor. He asked Digiol not to make him laugh. He completely covered himself in his armor and said that this kind of itch can't be called pain. Digiol stopped spinning when he heard this. He gathered all his blades into his right hand and created a huge hand. He asked our boy to try to take this. Van knew that this would only peel off his skin a bit. He felt like the attack was too shallow. The level of pain it could cause was too shallow. The swamp of pain Van fell into wasn't this weak. He clenched his fist and thrust it at Digiol's fist. Unfortunately for Digiol, our boy's punch was just too powerful. His attack crushed his hand and destroyed his upper body. It destroyed everything behind him and tore through the forest. The impact of his attack cleared the sky. After he was done with Digiol, our boy turned around. He told the bandits that they need to pick up from where they left off. The men knew that they were dead. At sunset, we see several bodies lying on the ground. They all had a weapon sticking out of them. Van was sitting on the bodies. The last bandit alive informed him that Kezarak is in the Nordia Kingdom. Our boy asked him if he is certain. The man said that he is sure of it. He asked Van if he will spare him as promised. Van asked him if he promised to spare him. While shaking, the man told him that he did earlier. Van laughed and told the man that he was joking. The man nervously laughed. He said that he will take his leave. Van crushed his neck before he could move. With a scary look on his face, he told the man that he was joking when he said that he would spare him. He asked him about what he is laughing at. Later in the night, we see Van in new clothes. He was staring at something. He said that he would like to invade the Zoe Kingdom. He said that he will meet Kezarak even if it takes some time. He told the thing that he will confirm things by himself. He asked Linda and his in-laws to wait a little longer. He said that he created a little present to appease them. He asked them to manage the present even if they don't like his artistic sense. The thing our boy was looking at was a cross he made out of the bandits' bodies. Van took out a torch. He told his family that their revenge is just starting. The moment he said this, he threw the torch at the bodies and turned around. He decided to go to the Nordia Kingdom. The scene shifts, and we are taken to the Nordia Kingdom. We see Van beating someone in the alley of Guild Street. The person told him that Anna Dalton will know. Van told the man that he should have said this earlier. He thanked him for the information and walked past the numerous people he beat up. Our boy tore the members of the gang apart. Now he needed to find out where Anna Dalton is. He knew that he couldn't afford to waste his time because there was no guarantee that what happened yesterday won't happen again today. The scene shifts, and we are taken to the day before. We see Van releasing a large amount of energy from his body. Our boy screamed out in pain as his energy poured out of his body. Van did not expect his magic power to be running wild. Nothing happened when he was locked up yesterday. Magic power is an unknown particle that cannot be seen with the naked eye, but it exists across the universe. The people who accumulate this magic power floating in the air within their body and manifest the ability of runecraft through the accumulated magic power are known as sorcerers. In other words, a sorcerer's body is a vessel that holds magic power. If this magic power runs wild within the sorcerer's body, the sorcerer could die. Van knew that his body could explode if his magic power continues to run wild. He realized that he must seal his magic power to stop the rampage. He placed his hand on his chest and slowly dragged his magic power back into his body. He was able to successfully take it back inside him. He fell to the ground and began to breathe heavily. He did not think that he would almost die. The scene shifts, and we are taken to the present. We see Van thinking about how he now has a very small amount of magic power. He knew that he could experience worse things other than his hair burning if he continues to abuse his magic power. In order to gain full access to his magic power, our boy decided to find out why the rampage happened in the first place. He realized that he needed to manage the small amount of magic power he had. While he was thinking, someone stood in front of him. Van asked the huge man to get out of the way. He said that he needs to pass. The huge man, whose name is Charlotte Jenny, told our boy that Madame Anna Dalton is currently using this place. He asked him to go back. Van told the man that he should have said this earlier. With a scary look on his face, he said that he has found the right place. He gave Charlotte a punch on his face. The man spat out some blood and fell to the ground. Van apologized to him and asked him to sleep for a while. He went into the building, which turns out to be a bathhouse. He saw 3 men wearing a blindfold standing in front of a big hot spring. The men were surprised to see him. The woman inside the hot spring also did not expect to see him. She wondered about what Charlotte was doing. She asked Van if he won't get out. Van carefully moved his hand. He told the woman that he is looking for a mercenary named Kezarak. He said that he heard someone there knows the man. The woman found it amazing that someone would go around calling Kezarak by name. She called Van a brat and told him that he is going to die without anyone knowing. Due to her reaction, our boy was certain that he had found the right person. He asked her to tell him everything about Kezarak. The woman laughed and called Van a crazy bastard. She ordered her men to rip his mouth off and bring it to her. The woman smoking a pipe is Anna Dalton. She is the #1 information broker in Nordia Kingdom. Her men accepted her order and released their magic powers. They began to transform. Their bodies became much bigger and stronger. It got covered with fur. The men transformed into werewolves with 5 eyes. They charged at Van together. Our boy slowly removed the cloth he tied around his hand to hide the lines on his body. He said that he wanted to talk about it. He didn't know why people make things hard every time. He dodged one of the wolves' attack and gave him a punch on his head. He gave another one a powerful blow in his stomach. The attack sent the werewolf flying. Immediately he did this. The 3rd werewolf attacked him for the side. Our boy dodged the attack. The werewolf's hand hit the wall. Another one tried to hit Van from the side. Our boy was able to dodge it by moving back. He covered his hand with his energy and raised his head up to see the 2 werewolves. He charged at them at a crazy speed and attacked them with a bone-crushing punch. His punch obliterated the werewolves and created a huge hole in the building. Van turned to Anna and asked her if she wants to have a peaceful conversation now. The woman did not expect him to be a sorcerer. She revealed to him that Kezarak is not there anymore. Our boy asked her about where he went to. Anna referred to him as a punk and told him that she is someone who sells information for a living. She explained to him that she can't tell him anything until she gets paid. Van asked her about how much she wants. Anna stood up and asked him about why he is suddenly acting sensible. Then explained to her that he is not a murderer. He said that he killed those men because they were trying to kill him. He told her that he is ready to pay a fair price if she can provide him the right information. Anna revealed to him that information about Kezarak and his current whereabouts will cost him 10,000 gold. She said that this is a fair price for the information. Van was surprised to hear the amount. He said that this is a lot of money. He told the woman that he did not expect it to be this expensive. Anna gently cleaned her hands. She told Van that she can't share any information with him if he cannot pay her. Our boy turned around and asked her to wait patiently. Anna was surprised to hear this. She asked him if he has a way to make the money. She asked him about why he is looking for Kezarak. She asked him if Kezarak killed his family. Van opened the door and asked her to mind her own business. With a scary look on his face, he told the woman that he might be forced to tear her mouth apart. He shut the door and left the building after saying this. Anna smiled and said that he is so scary. In the next scene, we are taken to Mercenary Street. We see Van register himself as a mercenary. He asked the attendant about when he can get started. The attendant, who appears to be a being from a different race, explained to Van that mercenaries get a lot of work, but it takes time for rookies to get anything because experienced veterans are assigned jobs first. Although it might take some time for him to gather the money he needed, our boy was ready to wait. He already needed a legit way to make a lot of money. He had actually thought of threatening Anna to get the information he needed, but he could sense that the woman was not ordinary. Van didn't see the need in increasing his enemies. He remembered that his Auntie Kara always advised him to make money through legit means. While Van was thinking, a girl wearing a hood approached the front desk and said that she wants to make a request. She said that she needs a mercenary with no experience. The man pointed at Van and said that he is a new mercenary who just registered now. The girl quickly turned to him. She asked Van about who he is. Our boy told her that he is the rookie who just registered. The girl said that her request is simple. She took off her hood and showed her beautiful face. She told Van that she simply wants him to take responsibility for one night. This girl is Leonati. She is 18 years old. The attendant and Van were surprised to hear what she said. Our boy turned to the side and called her a crazy woman. The attendant advised her to go to a brothel if she needs such services. Audie told them that it is a misunderstanding. She explained to Van that she is trying to hire an escort. Our boy walked forward and ignored her. Audie asked him to make a decision after hearing the compensation. Van told her that he hates the fact that his employer is already out of her mind. A huge fat man approached Audie and told her that he will take the job. He asked her about how much she wants to pay. Audie revealed to him that the pay is 10,000 gold. Van stopped walking when he heard this. Audie apologized to the man and told him that she can't hire a veteran with a well-known face like his. The man assured her that he is better than a rookie. Audie declined his offer. The man grabbed her hands and told her that he is better than Van. The woman asked him to let her go. The man was annoyed to hear this. He called her a frustrating young woman and told her that she should be thankful he is offering to take the job. Van moved close to him and referred to him as trash. He asked him to take his hands off the woman. The man was surprised to hear this. With a serious look on his face, Van referred to him as filthy trash and asked him to get his hands off his precious employer's body. The scene shifts and we are taken to a forest. We see some masked people burning some civilians. A man begged them to spare his son, but the men didn't listen. They burnt all of them alive. After they were done, they moved close to their leader. One of them informed him that it is just a peasant house. He said that the peasants don't have anything valuable. He told his boss that they will still be able to make some money if they sell the organs of the peasants. The man from a different race asked his subordinate to do as he wishes. He asked him about the job they took yesterday. He asked him if they will be snatching a daughter of the Leon household. The man told him that he is correct. The leader asked him to pick the 3 best men and keep them on standby. With a smile on his creepy face, the leader asked the man to hang the young boy he tortured. The boy was bleeding from every part of his body, and he had wires sticking out of him. The subordinate said that he will have the men on standby immediately. The leader asked him not to do it again. He activated his rune and used it to raise the man. While struggling to gain control of his body, the man asked his leader, whose name is Merkel, if he did something wrong. Merkel told him that he did nothing wrong. He said that the boy he played with is not enough to satisfy him. He smiled with his razor-sharp teeth and told the man that it will be perfect if he dissects him and hangs him next to the boy. The man screamed out in pain. The scene shifts and we see Van eating some steak. Audie was sitting in front of him. She seemed to be worried. She slammed her hand on the table. Van did not know why she did this. He asked her if the food does not suit her taste. Audie was shocked to hear this. She asked him about how he can swallow food like that. She asked him to stop using a person as a chair. Our boy was using the fat man that he beat up earlier as a chair. He asked Audie if she doesn't want to try using the man as a chair too. The woman said that she doesn't. She asked Van to let him go. She remembered how Van easily beat up the man. Our boy kicked him several times and asked him not to splash his bodily fluid on his precious employer. Audie had to be the one to hold him back. She told him that the man was going to die. The man begged our boy to spare him. Although our boy was rough, he was a skilled newbie with no paper trail. He was the perfect mercenary that Audie needed. Van got a chair and sat properly. He said that his other chair was comfy. Audie asked him not to treat people like objects. Our boy decided to get to business. He asked Audie about how far he has to take her as an escort. The woman told him that he is guarding her to the border of the Awana kingdom. She said that they will cut through the forest so that they can get there in a day. Van found it odd that she would spend 10,000 gold on a simple escort. He told the woman that he has a bad feeling that this ties to something dangerous. He glared at her and said that this might involve some powerful house or a fugitive. He asked her to share her identity with him. Audie revealed to him that she is the daughter of a somewhat wealthy man. She said that her father dotes on her a lot. Van wasn't convinced. He moved his face close to hers to see if she was lying. Audie told him that she can hire someone else if he is really suspicious. Our boy quickly moved away from her. He told her that he can never be suspicious of his precious employer. Audie was shocked to see how his attitude changed. Van asked her about when she would like to leave. Audie said that it will be good to leave early. Van told her that they can go now. Audie was surprised to hear this. Our boy said that he doesn't want to waste his client's valuable time. Audie did not expect to hear this. In the next scene, we are taken to the Gaseolso Mountains. We see our boy and Audie walking through the forest. The woman mentioned that they are halfway through the forest. Audie was relieved to see that everything was going well. She wondered if she even needed to hire a mercenary. The moment she thought of this, Van asked her to stop. Audie was surprised to hear this. She asked him if something is wrong. Van asked her to be quiet. He could feel magic power in the area. Magic power is also known as mana. Our boy closed his eyes and focused on his senses. He could feel the energy of 3 people sprinting towards them. He quickly realized that they were 4. He could sense Merkel's presence. He was certain that the man was dangerous. Merkel sensed Van's presence. He raised his hand and told our boy that peeking is bad. He fired an attack at him. Van quickly opened his eyes. He grabbed Audie and jumped back. Merkel ordered his men to capture the Leon family's daughter. Audie asked Van about what happened. Our boy explained to her that it was simply a warning shot. He said that the real one is coming. The moment he said this, he turned to the side. He saw Merkel's men coming towards them. 2 men attacked Van with their blades. Our boy blocked the attacks with his hands. The 3rd man quickly moved close to Audie. He wanted to grab her. Van sensed his presence. He pushed the other 2 back and gave the man a heavy kick in his chest. The kick crushed his body. The man fell to the ground and lost consciousness. The other 2 assassins quickly swung their blades at Van. Our boy dodged it and grabbed Audie. He moved back with her. After creating some distance between them, Van turned to the men. He removed the cloth on his hands and asked Audie not to move under any circumstances. He released his energy when he said this. Audie became nervous. She accepted his order. Van asked the men if they are bandits. One of them asked Van to leave Audie and back away quietly. He promised to let him go if he does this. Our boy smiled and told the man that he will leave if he pays him 10,000 gold. The man called him a fool. The man and his comrade charged at Van. The men swung their blades at him at a crazy speed. Van blocked their attacks and kept up with their speed. He was still able to attack them. The men made their attacks faster, but our boy was still able to keep up. He blocked their attacks without getting a cut on his body. Van carefully moved back after testing the men. One of them said that he was worried that he would be a sorcerer. He told Van that he is just a brat. Our boy released his energy and said that he was just being careful. He told the men that he didn't expect them to be so stupid. Immediately he said this, he appeared in front of them and gave them several punches at a ridiculous speed. He gathered his energy in his fist and gave them a bone-crushing punch. His punch tore the men apart and blew away the things around them. The men's bodies were completely destroyed. Only their legs were left. Van called them a bunch of clowns. Audie could not believe her eyes. She believed that Van was younger than her. She wondered about how he was this powerful. She knew that her father would be shocked and thrilled if he saw this. The moment she thought of this, someone said that sorcerers often gauge each other's mana because the amount of mana a sorcerer has often matches his skill level. Van was surprised to hear the person's voice. He turned to him and told him that he thought he ran away because he stayed hidden for so long. The person he was talking to was Merkel. Merkel was surprised to see that Van had the same amount of mana as him even though he is just a kid. He wondered if our boy was born with it. He said that he will have to dissect him. With a creepy smile on his face, the crazy man told Van that a sorcerer like him must have amazing organs. Merkel is also known as the Mad Anatomist. He is the leader of the Merkel gang. The gang is involved in murder, human trafficking, kidnapping, and other heinous crimes. Merkel told Van that he will dissect him painlessly if he hands over Audie. Our boy asked him to screw off. Merkel raised his hand and asked him to die. He fired his energy at him, then called out to Audie. He asked her if she was lying when she called herself an ordinary merchant's daughter. Audie was shocked to hear this. She didn't know what to say. Van asked her to save her excuse. He said that he is not interested in listening to it. He grabbed her clothes and moved her in front of him. Audie was shocked to see what Van did. The attack was about to hit her. She called Van a bastard. Merkel was shocked to see Audie in front of Van. He could tell that our boy was serious about letting her take the hit. Before his attack could reach Audie, Merkel stopped it. With a look of anger on his face, the man called Van a crazy bastard. Audie told our boy that she almost died. Merkel asked Van if he isn't Audie's bodyguard. Audie called him a lunatic and reminded him that she is his employer. Van wasn't listening to her. He saw that Merkel twisted the direction of his attack in an instant. He realized that the man was a sorcerer that was skilled in manipulating mana. He understood that Merkel's goal isn't to kill Audie. He wanted to capture her. Van could not believe that Merkel wanted to take away his money. While he was thinking, Audie called out to him. She asked him if he is listening. Our boy told her that he will overlook her lie for now. Audie could not believe that he just brushed off the fact that he tried to kill her. Van moved close to her and asked her to stop arguing. He told her that he is going to throw her. He asked her to land safely on her own and hide like a mouse. He asked her if she understands. Audie was shocked to hear this. She couldn't believe that he wanted to throw her. Van asked her to relax. He assured her that she won't die. The moment he said this, he grabbed her clothes and threw her into the air with a large amount of force. He sent the woman away from the area. Merkel released his mana and asked the woman about where she is running to. He quickly began to run. Before he could get past Van, our boy grabbed his leg and asked him about where he is going. He clenched his fist and covered it with his energy. He dragged Merkel back and gave him a heavy punch on his face. He quickly changed his stance and gave the man another heavy punch in his stomach. Merkel got pushed back, but he was able to quickly regain his balance. He laughed like a madman. Van noticed something odd about the man. He was certain that his attacks landed on the man, but he could feel like they were blocked by something. Merkel smiled with his razor-sharp teeth. He told Van that he will carve him up and go after Audie. He asked our boy to look forward to it. He assured him that it will be an electrifying experience. The runecraft in Merkel's possession is the psychokinesis rune. His rune allows him to manipulate an object's physical state with mana. He also has the ability to discharge power in an instantaneous burst like a shockwave. Merkel raised his hand and fired an attack at Van. Our boy quickly moved to the side to dodge the attack. Merkel charged at him with this opportunity and gave him a punch when he got close to him. Van used his arms to block the attack. He realized that Merkel was good at hand-to-hand combat, and his body was clad in psychokinetic energy. Van quickly took a stance and gave the man a heavy punch in his stomach. The attack didn't move Merkel. He raised his hand and pointed it at Van. Our boy quickly moved away from Merkel's sight. The man fired his energy immediately. Van moved. Our boy quickly swung his fist at him. His attack was blocked by a shield. Merkel created the formidable shield with his psychokinetic energy. Upon seeing that his fist couldn't reach the man, our boy moved back. He did not like this annoying runecraft. He took a look at his arm. He noticed something odd. Merkel told our boy that he is wasting his time. He said that their mana may be at similar levels, but the abilities of their runes are worlds apart. Van wasn't really listening to the man. He was more focused on his arm. Merkel told him that he can take him in if he wants to work for him. He assured Van that he can earn several times the amount that Audie is offering him if he works for him. Van revealed to him that Audie agreed to pay him 10,000 gold. Merkel laughed when he heard this. He revealed to Van that they can get this kind of chump change by attacking 2 villages. He told our boy that he is getting paid a small amount for his skills. With a scary tone in his voice, Van asked him about what he means by attacking villages. With a smile on his face, Merkel said that he is involved in things like assassination, kidnapping, robbery, and human trafficking. He said that they do everything without asking questions and make a lot of money. He asked Van if he is interested. Our boy smiled when he heard this. He began to laugh like a crazy person. Merkel believed that Van was laughing because he liked what he heard. He said that he is such a good judge of character. Van released his mana. He told Merkel that he is laughing at himself for actually talking to him. The man was surprised to hear this. Van took a stance. He couldn't believe that he was actually having a conversation with a worthless vermin. With a scary look on his face, he told Merkel that he has decided to tear his limbs apart until he is unrecognizable. Merkel was annoyed to hear this. He called Van an insolent bastard. He couldn't believe that Van was acting like this when he offered him an opportunity. Before he could do anything, our boy appeared in front of him. He began to punch his shield. Merkel asked him about what he is doing. He reminded him that he said that he can't break his shield. Van didn't listen to the man. He made his punches faster. He began to slowly push Merkel back. His attacks gradually became stronger. His punches began to crack the shield. He was able to completely shatter it. Merkel was shocked to see this. Van gave him a punch on his arm. His attack blew away Merkel's entire arm. The man screamed out in pain. Van didn't give him the chance to rest. He gave him another heavy punch on his chest. His attack sent the man flying. He crashed on the ground. Merkel called Van an insolent bastard. He told him that he is no longer interested in his organs. He pushed himself up and told Van that he will pay the price for rejecting his mercy. Immediately he said this. He released his mana. He concentrated his mana into a triangle-shaped attack. He asked Van to be reduced to dust. He smiled and fired an attack known as psychokinetic blood strike at our boy. The powerful energy got fired at Van at a crazy speed. It destroyed the things around them. Merkel was shocked to see that Van was still standing. He was certain that they had similar mana levels. He couldn't believe that Van stopped his psychokinesis with one hand. Our boy found it funny that Merkel thought that they had similar mana levels. He released his mana and called Merkel an idiotic bastard. Merkel instantly felt Van's horrifying mana. He couldn't comprehend what was happening. He couldn't believe that Van possessed such a ridiculous amount of mana. Van appeared in front of him in an instant. He asked him to fall to hell. He activated the Annihilation Fist and gave Merkel several punches before he could even react. He gave the man a bone-crushing punch and used it to tear a hole in his chest. Immediately he did this. Our boy picked up his cloth from the ground and wrapped it around his arms. He simply walked forward. The moment he did this, the ground and everything around Merkel got destroyed. A huge explosion took place in the area. Our boy didn't even bother to look back. He decided to fetch his employer. Runecraft can be used in different ways. It can grant users the power to arm their entire body with blades. Some people can transcend space and time, and others can even tear through land and cut mountains with their power. Runecrafts are supernatural forces that defy the divine order of the universe and surpass the laws of physics. Among all this runecrafts, the one called the Azura rune is labeled as the worst in history. However, due to the actions of the boy who wields the rune, a new history is being written on the continent of Aten. In the next scene, we see Van find Audie sitting next to a tree. Audie quickly stood up and moved close to Van. She asked him if he was crazy. She asked him to tell her why he would just throw someone away like that. Van slammed his hand on the tree behind her. Audie became scared. With a scary look on his face, our boy reminded her that she is hiding something from him. Audie became quiet. Van asked her not to worry about it. He said that he is not very curious. He asked the woman to give him the money she promised since he brought her to her destination safely. Audie quickly took out a bag full of gold and gave it to Van. She told him that there is 10,000 gold in the bag. Van turned around and told her that he is leaving. Audie called out to him. Our boy stopped walking and turned to her. The woman hesitated and said that it is nothing. Van walked forward and said that he is really leaving. Audie wanted to take our boy to her family, but she didn't want to drag such a young mercenary into the war. She felt bad about letting Van go. She turned around and decided to return to her family. The scene shifts, and we are taken to Anna Dalton's third residence in the Nordya Kingdom. We see Van throw the cash on the ground in front of Anna. The woman was impressed. She believed that Van had someone backing him. Our boy asked her to give him the information he requested for. Anna told him that she will only take half of his money. Van did not expect to hear this. Anna revealed to him that she failed to track down Kezerak. She said that the man is incredibly thorough. She told Van that she will tell him about Kezerak and anyone who might know where he is. Our boy asked her to tell him quickly. Anna asked him if he has ever heard of a mercenary group called Tease. Van said that he hasn't. Tease is a mercenary group that is involved in various crimes like murder, kidnapping, human trafficking, assassination, infiltration, and more. The leader of Tease is Kezerak. The mercenary groups started to become famous around 5 years ago. Now their influence is so great that they can dominate a small frontier nation. Anna explained to Van that it is currently hard for her to find the main base of T's, and it has become difficult to get Kezerak's whereabouts. She told Van that she is not the kind of woman who would easily give up. She revealed to him that she has found the location and whereabouts of one of the T's executives. She took out a poster of the executive and showed it to Van. She told him that he will immediately recognize the man thanks to the long scar on his face. This man is a brutal assassin born with the concealing rune. He has never failed to take out his targets. Van believed that the man will know where Kezerak is. He asked Anna to tell him where the man is. The woman revealed to him that the assassin is in Valhild City in the Bogra Kingdom. The scene shifts, and we are taken to Valhild City. We are taken to Merkel's group base. We see several dead bodies on the ground outside. Inside the base, we see more bodies on the ground. A man chased after some men with a weapon. The man easily cut down the men. One of Merkel's subordinates turned around when he saw the man who was killing his comrades. He asked the killer about why he is attacking them. The executive with the long scar on his face told the man that he is just doing what he was told. He said that he might have been given the order because their group failed the mission given to them by Kezerak. The man told him that no one mentioned that the woman was protected by such a monstrous bastard. He told the executive that they lost their chief because of him. The executive apologized to him. He explained to him that they didn't think that Merkel would be defeated by some frontier mercenary. The man couldn't believe that the assassin killed almost all of them because of a single failure. The assassin asked the man to think of it as punishment. He told him that they are both low-level killers. The man laughed when he heard this. He asked the assassin to screw off. Immediately he said this. He ordered the rest of his men to attack the assassin. The men quickly jumped out of hiding and charged at the assassin. The man told the assassin that he will be the one to die there. He raised his hand and activated his rune. The man uses the touch rune. It allows him to create a huge hand made of mana that can be freely manipulated. The moment the man activated his rune, he used the huge hand to hold the assassin down. He let his comrades get close to the assassin. Before they could swing their blades at him, the assassin apologized to them for what he was about to do. Immediately he did this. He activated his concealing rune and disappeared. Everyone was shocked to see this. They couldn't believe their eyes. The assassin appeared behind the man using the rune in an instant. The man quickly turned around when he sensed his presence. He realized that he was screwed. A while later, we see the assassin walk out of the building. He saw a man waiting for him outside. The man asked him if he has taken care of everything. The assassin asked the man if he cannot see that he is covered in blood. He told him that he can go inside to check by himself. The man said that he cannot do such a thing. He told the assassin that he must have handled it as clean as he usually does. The assassin asked him to get lost if he has confirmed everything. The man informed him that an investigation is being carried out on the mercenary who killed Merkel. He told him that the mercenary has black scars around his eyes and neck, due to the fact that the man was telling him about Van. The assassin asked him if our boy is now a target. The man laughed and told him that he is correct. He told the assassin that this is why Kezerak won't let him go. The assassin asked him to shut up. The man said that he will inform Kezerak about what happened today. After saying this, he disappeared. After the man left, the assassin took out a cigarette and placed it in his mouth. He looked at the moon and thought about how Van has black scars on his eyes and neck. The scene shifts, and we are taken to Anna's house. Van said that the Bogra Kingdom is close by. He told Anna that he has one more question. With a scary look on his face, Van asked her to tell him the name of the executive. Immediately, he asked his question. We see the assassin thinking about how the number of people he has to kill keeps increasing. The assassin is known as Hoxa. He is an executive of the T's mercenary group. In the next scene, we see a young boy and girl nervously standing in front of something. The girl asked the boy, whose name is Maget, if there is any way for them to get out of this situation. A huge snake-like monster with an open intestine stood in front of the boy and girl. The monster had a huge set of teeth in its intestines. This snake monster glared at the two children. Maget told the girl that he doesn't have any ideas. The snake monster hissed at the children and raised its gigantic hands. Before the monster could crush them, someone charged at it. The person jumped and clenched his fist. The person turned out to be Van. Our boy tore through the monster's intestine with his fist. The monster was unable to react to his attack. Its body tore apart. and its flesh spilled out. The two kids were shocked to see this. The monster fell to the ground in front of them. Van wore a hood and moved close to the children. He asked them if they are all right. With a shaky tone in her voice, the girl told him that they are fine. She thanked him for his help. Van turned to the sky to see numerous flying monsters that were above them. He told the kids that the area is crawling with monsters. He advised them to leave immediately. The girl told him that she wants to repay him for saving them. Van asked her not to worry about it. The girl told him that they can't just let him leave. She asked him to join them for a meal. Megat agreed with her. He told Van that their shop is nearby. Van declined their offer. He told them that he is actually looking for a shop around the area. The blonde girl, whose name is Ofen, asked him about the name of the shop. She said that they know every shop around the area. Van revealed to her that he is searching for a tavern called the Blue Knight. He asked her if she has heard of it. The girl was surprised to hear this. She revealed to Van that this is the name of their tavern. Megat found it surprising that someone was searching for their tavern. He said that it is not a place people usually look for. Ofen asked him to shut up. She moved close to Van and introduced herself to him as the cook of the tavern. She introduced Megat as her younger brother. She referred to our boy as Savior and asked him about his name. Van told the girl that his name is Ban. Ofen asked him to follow them. In the next scene, we see Van and the kids arrive at the Blue Knight Tavern, which is on the outskirts of the Bogra Kingdom. Ofen waved to a boy she saw outside. The boy asked her about why they were gone for so long. He told her that they have already finished preparing all the ingredients. Two little girls moved close to Ofen and hugged her. Ofen apologized to the boy and informed him that they ran into a monster on their way back. The boy was shocked to hear this. He grabbed her shoulder and asked her if they are all right. Ofen assured him that they are fine. She told him that a kind person saved them. The boy asked her about what she means. Ofen turned to Van. She asked the boy to greet him. She introduced Van to the boy, whose name is Hosea. She revealed to him that our boy was on his way to their shop. Hosea was surprised to hear this. He asked her about why Van wants to come to the Blue Knight. Ofen asked him to shut up. Our boy went into the well-maintained tavern with the kids. Ofen asked him to seat anywhere he likes. Van asked her if the place is run by kids. The girl turned to him and told him that they actually live there. Van curiously asked her about what she means. Ofen revealed to him that they are not a real family. She said that they came from different kingdoms. She said that the little girls, whose names are Lily and Ein, lost their parents in the war. Hosea's village got destroyed by monsters, and Megat's family were killed by mercenaries. These children should have been dead a long time ago, but they were saved by a man. The man was the one who brought them there and took care of them. Ofen said that the man is the owner of this tavern and their first savior. She wondered about where he was. Hosea said that the owner is probably sleeping because he got back from work late yesterday. Ofen said that she will wake him up. She asked Van to make himself at home. As she walked towards the stairs, she wondered why their savior was sleeping when they have a visitor. She went into the man's room and called out to him. She asked him about how long he plans on sleeping. The man gently moved and asked her to give him a little more time. Ofen asked him to get up in order for him to calm Megat down. She revealed to him that they almost got killed by a monster they ran into on their way back. She said that Megat is probably shaken up. The man quickly jumped out of the bed. He asked her if she is all right. Ofen told him that she is fine. She said that a kind person saved them. The man turned out to be Hoxa. He was surprised to hear about some kind person. Ofen revealed to him that the person was on his way to their shop. Hoxa realized that it would be rude for him to just stay in his room. He decided to greet Van. Ofen told him that this is a good idea. He went downstairs with the girl. Ofen pointed at Van when they got downstairs. Hoxa walked up to our boy and told him that he heard about how he saved the kids. He thanked Van for his help. Van told him that he was simply passing by. He said that things took an interesting turn of events. Hoxa did not understand what he meant. Van carefully directed his killing intent at the man and told him that he looks very much like the person he is looking for. The assassin was shocked to feel our boy's mana. He sat down and said that this is impossible. He told Van that he is just the owner of an unpopular tavern in the middle of nowhere. Our boy revealed to him that an informant told him that the owner of the tavern is an amazing cook. Hoxa understood what he meant. He said that he did not expect to get a referral. Van told him that he would like to see his skills by himself. Hoxa told him that the children tend to get rowdy when he is in the kitchen. He said that they will disturb his rest. Van suggested that they meet early in the morning tomorrow if he is worried about the children. Hoxa said that the children will be fast asleep around that time. He accepted Van's offer. Van told him that he will sleep early tonight. The man told him that he made a wise decision. He moved close to Ofen and asked her to show Van to a spare room. Ofen smiled and told the man that she has never seen him warm up to someone so quickly. She asked him if he is all right. Hoxa forced himself to smile and turned to the girl. He told her that he and Van are the same. He said that they both understand each other. Later in the night, we see Ofen showing Van his room. She asked him to let her know if he needs anything. After saying this, the girl turned around. Before she could leave, Van called out to her. He asked her not to thank him. He told her that he didn't save her on purpose. Ofen found this funny. She said that Hoxa also said the same thing when he saved her. She asked Van to rest well. She left the room after saying this. Our boy felt bad when he heard this. Later in the midnight, we see Hoxa at Van's doorstep. He was carrying his blade. He stepped into Van's room and found him sleeping on the bed. He quickly thrust his blade at our boy. Before his blade could reach him, Van opened his eyes and grabbed it with his hand. Hoxa was surprised to see this. Van quickly gave him a punch. Hoxa used his blade to block the punch, but he got pushed back. Van got up and told Hoxa that he has been waiting for him. The scene shifts, and we are taken to the past. We see Hoxa talking to someone with a device. The person's face appeared like a hologram. He informed the man that a sorcerer with black scars on his eyes and neck is in his tavern. He said that the sorcerer suspected of killing Merkel is in his tavern right now. The man said that this will save him a lot of trouble. He asked Hoxa to summon him with the formation right now. Hoxa said that Van might sense something and try to run away. He told his comrade that he will make sure Van can't escape before he summons him. The man told him that he will be waiting for him. The scene shifts, and we are taken to the present. We see Van telling Hoxa that he has a disgusting behavior. He found it disgusting that the man would take in children and secretly kill people behind the scenes. Hoxa apologized to Van for not being able to be a better adult to him. Our boy asked him to save his excuses. With a scary look on his face, Van asked Hoxa to tell him where Kezarak is. The assassin was shocked to hear this. He realized that Van came there already knowing everything about Tease. He told him that he can't tell him where his boss is. Our boy told him that he understands. He raised his leg up and took a stance. He told Hoxa that he wants to see if he can still say this after he cuts off his limbs. The assassin released his mana and told Van that he will pretend as if he never saw him if he turns back now. Our boy reminded him that he just tried to kill him earlier. Hoxa said that he understands. He took out a paper containing several words. He used his mana to activate the formation on the paper. The moment he did this, our boy got dragged into the formation. He found himself in a different place. He was in a cave that had no entrance. The only open space there was the ceiling. Van carefully looked around the tall cave. He realized that the cave was created with a formation. He remembered hearing about formations from Partel. A formation is a runecraft power inscribed into letters or images. When mana is poured into a formation, the stored power can be unleashed. Formations are usually cast by using paper as a medium, but they can also be set up using certain places or objects. Our boy wondered about where Hoxa went. He wondered if he ran away. Immediately he thought of this. Hoxa swung a blade at his head. Van was able to dodge the blade, but he got a cut on his cheek. He sensed mana in the blade that he dodged. He quickly moved back to dodge multiple slashes. He created some distance between himself and the blade. He charged at the location. He sensed Hoxa's presence and thrust his fist at it. His hand destroyed the wall, but he wasn't able to reach the assassin. Our boy noticed that the man's presence has vanished again. The moment he thought of this, the assassin appeared next to him and advised him not to turn his back on his opponent. Van was shocked to hear his voice. Hoxa thrust his blade at Van. Our boy was able to dodge it by bending his head. He quickly jumped back in order to create some distance between himself and the assassin. He realized that he can't see Hoxa with his naked eyes, and he can't sense his presence. He couldn't even hear a sound in the cave. He knew that this was Hoxa's runecraft. The assassin stood at the top of the ceiling. He put another blade on his other arm and put them together. The assassin uses a concealing rune. It allows him to erase his presence completely. Hoxa activated his rune and charged at Van from above. Our boy was able to dodge it by running fast. Although it was hard for him to dodge attacks in this narrow cave, it was even harder for him to locate the man. The moment he thought of this, he jumped in order to dodge Hoxa's blade. He quickly moved back. He clenched his fist and moved forward at a crazy speed. He He was moving close to the invisible assassin. Hoxa was shocked to see Van coming at him. He quickly realized that our boy has figured out his location. Before he could move, Van grabbed his neck and raised him up. He told him that hiding his body won't help him because he can still see his mana. One of his eyes turned black when he said this. The eye is his second manifested armament. It is known as the Truth Eye. The eye allows him to perceive even the faintest mana that is undetectable to normal senses. Hoxa could not believe what was happening. Van slammed his body to the ground with a large amount of force. The impact of the attack destroyed the ground. Hoxa spat out some blood and rested his back on the wall. He told Van that he is the second rune caster to find him with mana alone in his 40 years as an assassin. Van asked him to tell him where Kezarak is. Hoxa asked him to tell him what he thinks of his kids. He said that they are quite adorable. Unfortunately for him, Van was not ready for his nonsense. He grabbed his arm and asked him to tell him where his boss is. He removed his arm and asked him to answer him. The assassin screamed out in pain while breathing heavily. He said that he has murdered countless people because of Kezarak's order. He said that he is a man beyond forgiveness. Our boy placed his hand on his other arm. He told Hoxa that he will rip off his other arm if he confesses to him one more time. Hoxa said that he cannot die, yet even if everyone condemns him. He said that he hasn't protected the children yet. He asked Van to accept his apology. Immediately he said this. He took out another paper and inserted his mana into it. Our boy was surprised to see another formation. A portal appeared above Hoxa. A monster jumped out of the portal and gave Van a blow in his chest. The attack pushed him back. Hoxa's comrade was on the monster. He said that he has finally found our boy. Van gently cleaned the blood on his lips. With a menacing look in his eyes, he called out to the man and asked him if he cannot see that they are talking. Van noticed that he was bleeding in his stomach. He realized that the monster's claw went into him. The man carefully looked at Van to see if he was his target. The fact that our boy was able to drive Hoxa to this point convinced him that Van is the one who killed Merkel. Hoxa pushed himself up. He advised his comrade to be careful. He informed him that Van found him with his rune. He said that he can't even guess his level as a sorcerer. The man was impressed when he heard this. He did not think that someone so young would be this powerful. Van called out to the man. He asked him if he is willing to answer his questions. The masked man asked Hoxa about what our boy is talking about. Hoxa revealed to him that Van asked for Kezarak's location. The man laughed and apologized to Van. He took off his mask. With a creepy smile on his face, the man told Van that there is no one who will answer his question. This bald man's name is Bridgeton. He is also an executive of Tees. Van realized that he couldn't talk things out with the man. He charged at the bald man. He clenched his fist when he got close to him. The monster behind Bridgeton clenched its fist when it saw Van. It quickly attacked our boy before he could touch Bridgeton. Van was able to block its attack with his fist. Immediately he did this. Hoxa appeared behind him. Our boy quickly turned to see the man. Hoxa swung his blade at him. Van jumped to dodge the man's blade. The monster's fist hit the ground when Van went up. Our boy clenched his fist and swung it at the monster while he was in the air. The monster raised its hand to block his attack. Van told it that it is not wise to block his attack. Immediately he said this. He slammed the monster's hand to the ground and destroyed it with his punch. The monster screamed out in pain. Our boy ran forward the moment he landed on the ground. Bridgeton smiled at him. He told him that he has achieved remarkable things as a young sorcerer. He gathered his mana in his hand and asked Van to tell him what he will do next. He revealed to him that the amount of monsters he controls is not limited to one. The moment he said this, several monsters came out of portals in the air. Bridgeton used his rune to bring them down. Bridgeton has the summoning rune. It allows the user to summon a subspace connected to another dimension. This makes it possible for him to store and retrieve anything he needs. Our boy saw the monsters coming towards him. He believed that it didn't matter because he could destroy them all with his attacks. Before he could do anything, Hoxa attacked him. He told Van that he let his guard down. He landed 2 cuts on Van's knees. This made Van lose his balance. The huge monsters fell upon our boy and pressed him down. Van was unable to move. The monsters held him down with their bodies. Bridgeton moved close to him. He was amazed to see that Van was all right. He told him that one of these monsters is enough to crush a normal sorcerer. He couldn't believe that Van was not injured. He asked him about the type of rune he uses. He asked him if it is body enhancement. Van told him that he is the only one allowed to ask questions. He advised the man to give him the answer he wants. Bridgerton smiled when he heard this. He told him that he likes his fiery personality. He offered to make Van an assassin of T's assassination squad. With a creepy smile on his face, he raised his hand and activated his rune. He told Van that he has to first make him his slave. Bridgerton has another rune known as the Domination Rune. It is a rune that allows the user to invade a target's inner world. The user will destroy the existing version of the person and reshape their identity into whatever they wish. Van was shocked to see that the man had two different runes. Bridgerton quickly placed his hand on our boy's head. He told him that he will soon be reborn. The moment he said this, Bridgerton found himself in a world covered with red clouds. Even the ground was red. The man wondered about where he was. He quickly realized that he was in Van's inner world. Bridgerton had turned countless monsters and sorcerers into his slaves with his domination rune, and he has never failed before. He believed that he would always be able to take over his opponent's mind no matter how strong they are. When the man turned around, he saw a huge demon carrying a huge sword. The demon was smiling at him. Other demons appeared around the man. They stood on opposite sides and held flags and weapons. It was an army of demons. Bridgerton always believed that he would win, but he didn't know that he had come across someone he shouldn't have met. A boy who was neither living nor dead. A boy who survived with nothing but vengeance on his mind and endured 1,000 long years in a deep and dark abyss of pain. In the middle of the demon army, something with long hair came down from the sky. The thing moved close to the sorcerer. He was horrified when he looked into its eyes. He couldn't even run. This demon looked like the Azura rune on Van's back. The demon smiled at the sorcerer. Bridgerton didn't think that he would meet this kind of thing in someone's inner world. He didn't know the kind of world that Van had created in his mind after suffering for so long. The demon stopped smiling at the man. Its head became bigger. It manifested thousands of faces. Bridgerton became terrified when he saw this. He got devoured by the demon. He quickly got dragged back to reality. He began to breathe heavily. While he was struggling to catch his breath, Van called out to him. He released his mana and told him that it is quite rude for him to peek into someone else's mind. Bridgerton was shocked to hear this. He called our boy a monster. Van dragged his hand out and gave the man a punch on his chest. Bridgerton screamed out as blood gushed out of his hand. Hoxa couldn't believe what was happening. He couldn't believe that Bridgerton's brainwashing failed. Van raised the monsters on him up and said that one sorcerer locks people in a strange cage while the other one peeks into others' secrets. He told the men that they are quite unpleasant. He threw the monsters up and gave them a life-crushing punch. He destroyed every single one of them with this earth-shattering punch. His attack destroyed the cave and threw the sorcerers out of the dimension. They were sent back to reality. They landed outside the shop. Hoxa and Bridgerton got slammed to the ground. Van was thrilled to see that the formation was broken. Hoxa tried to stand up, but he was too injured. He spat out a large amount of blood. Van took a look at Bridgerton. He saw that the man has already passed out. He decided to question Hoxa. He grabbed the assassin by his hair. Hoxa screamed out. Van told him that this is his last chance. He asked the man to tell him where Kezarak is. Hoxa didn't say anything. Van could tell that the man wasn't going to give him an answer. He stood up and told Hoxa that he doesn't need to give him an answer if he doesn't want to. He covered his hand with his energy and told the man that he will make him speak. Before Van could do anything, Ophin screamed and asked him to stop. She and her other siblings ran in front of Van and asked him to stop. They asked him not to kill Hoxa. The assassin was shocked to see this. He asked the children about what they are doing. Ophin begged our boy to spare their savior. Van explained to her that he doesn't plan on killing Hoxa yet, but he might die during the interrogation. With a scary look in his eyes, Van asked the kids to get lost if they don't want to die too. Hosea charged at our boy and hit him in the leg. He asked Van to stop. Ophin called out to the boy when she saw this. The boy held Van's hand. Van asked him about what he is doing. He asked him if he is not going to let him go. Hosea begged Van to leave them alone. Hoxa begged his children to run away. The children told him that they are not leaving him. Van was annoyed to see what was happening. He asked the children if they are joking with him right now. He pushed Hosea to the ground and took a stance. Ophin called out to her brother when she saw this. With a scary look in his eyes, Van told the boy that he will kill him first if he is prepared to die. Hosea quickly raised his hands up. Before Van could do anything, Bridgerton raised his hand up and released some energy, then quickly turned to him. The sorcerer activated his summoning rune and used it to open a portal that released a monster's claw-like tentacles. Van quickly put his hands together to protect himself. He didn't think that Bridgerton would still be alive. To his surprise, the tentacles avoided him. Van did not expect this. He instantly realized that Bridgerton wasn't aiming for him. He was aiming for Hoxa and the children. The monster used its claw-like tentacles to stab Hoxa and his kids. Van quickly charged at Bridgerton. The sorcerer smiled at our boy. He knew that he wouldn't reach him. He used his summoning rune to place himself in his own world before Van could reach him. Our boy was only able to feel his mana. Inside Bridgerton's dimension, we see him resting on a huge floating rock. Since he has killed Hoxa and the kids, the man was certain that there was no way Van would gain information about Kezerak. He took a look at his arm and said that he went through a lot because of Van. He couldn't believe that there was a sorcerer who had such a terrifying inner world. He knew that he had to report this to Kezerak immediately. The moment he thought of this, someone tore space open and stepped into his dimension. Bridgerton instantly knew who it was when he felt his energy. His body got covered with sweat as he turned around. Van placed his hand on the man's head. With a nervous look on his face, Bridgerton asked Van about how he got into his dimension. Our boy revealed to him that there was a tiny passageway in space leading to his dimension. He explained to Bridgerton that he injected his mana into the space and forcefully tore through it before it could close. Van told the sorcerer that he should have properly locked his door. He said that he is sick of dimensions. Bridgerton knew that he was screwed. Van asked him not to worry. He told him that he doesn't intend to kill him yet. He told Bridgerton that he has to answer his questions since he has killed Hoxa. He assured him that he will take him out in a month's time. Immediately he said this, Van's head transformed into a horrifying creature with several heads. He asked Bridgerton to stay there for a bit. This ability is the third armament. It is known as Gluttony's Pocket. It allows the user to devour living creatures that possess mana. The only limitation is that it can't devour creatures who possess more mana than the caster. The heads morphed into a gigantic head. The head used its tongue to grab Bridgerton. The man screamed and said that he doesn't want to go back into Van's world. He begged our boy to forgive him. Unfortunately for him, he got swallowed. After he swallowed the sorcerer, our boy's head slowly returned to normal. He stepped out of Bridgerton's dimension. He noticed that Gluttony's Pocket consumes a lot of mana. He realized that it was quite risky for him to use it. He fell on his knees and tried to catch his breath. He looked around and saw the bodies of the kids lying on the ground. He wondered if everyone was dead. Since he had secured a hostage who would provide necessary information, Van decided to leave the place and recover his mana. The moment he turned around, Hoxa asked him to wait. He told him that Ofen can still be saved. With a tear in his eye, the man begged Van to save the girl. Our boy turned to him when he heard this. In the next scene, we see a man standing over Hoxa's body. The man said that a fierce fight took place in this place. His comrade picked up Bridgerton's arm and told him that Bridgerton lost his arm. The man couldn't believe that someone killed two executives of Tease. He said that the attacker is insane. He asked his comrade, whose name is Mongo, if he can find the culprit. Mongo said that he can. He said that he can still smell something even though it is faint. He said that our boy was there until yesterday. The man wearing an eye patch summoned some men known as Raven. The men came out of his shadow. The man ordered them to report the situation to Kezerak. He said that he will track their culprit with Mongo. The men accepted his order. The man turned to Hoxa and wondered if this is the end he wanted so badly. He said that it is an empty and meaningless end. The scene shifts and we are taken to the mountains. We see Ofen open her eyes and scream. When she raised her head, Van asked her if she is finally awake. The girl asked him about where they are. She quickly turned to him and asked him about Hoxa and the kids. Van revealed to her that everyone else died. The girl was shocked to hear this. Blood gushed out of her eyes. She screamed and said that this can't be true. She told Van that he saw the wrong thing. She slowly pushed herself up and said that she has to go save everyone. She said that they can't die yet. Van asked her to shut up. He revealed to her that he buried the children's bodies himself. The girl fell back down and screamed. She said that this can't happen. She asked our boy about why he saved only her. She told him that he should have just let her die with everyone. She asked him to tell her why he saved her. Van asked her not to delude herself. He revealed to her that he only saved her because he needed her. Immediately he said this. Van remembered the conversation he had with Hoxa before he died. He asked the man to tell him why he should save the girl. He said that Ofen won't last on her own even if he saves her. She will either be torn apart by monsters or killed by bandits. While struggling to catch his breath, Hoxa informed Van that Ofen knows about Kezarak and Tees. He told him that the girl can provide him information. Van was surprised to hear this. Hoxa begged Van to simply take Ofen to a random village. He said that the girl is strong and lucky enough to survive. He was certain that she would be able to live on her own. Van asked the man about what he should do if Ofen doesn't know anything. Hoxa asked him to do whatever he likes. He told him that he can kill her if he wants. Our boy realized that the man wasn't lying. He agreed to help the girl. Hoxa begged Van to save her. After doing this, he died. While Ofen was crying on the ground, Van grabbed her neck and raised her up. He apologized to her and told her that he can no longer wait. He asked her to tell him about Kezarak. The girl seemed quite lifeless. She hadn't processed her grief well. Nevertheless, she still spoke. She told our boy that Kezarak is probably in the Varkan kingdom. She revealed to him that the man said that he was heading out to carry out a commission for the king of Varkan the last time he came to see Hoxa. Van asked her to describe Kezarak to him. The girl revealed to him that his appearance changes every time he came to see Hoxa. She said that this is probably due to the rune he wields. Van asked her if she knows anything about Kezarak's rune. Ofen said that Hoxa once told her that Kezarak is a sorcerer born with a rare set of 3 runes that are counted among the continent's rarest. Van did not expect the man to possess 3 runes. He knew that Kezarak was going to be hard to deal with. He let go of the girl and told her that they have no time to waste. He said that they will talk on their way. Ofen asked him about where they are going. Van revealed to her that he made a deal with Hoxa to take her to a safe village. He told her that this is also his way of repaying her for the information. Ofen was shocked to hear about the deal Hoxa made on her behalf. Van turned to her and asked her to get up. He told her that they are leaving immediately. The girl quickly got up. She stepped out of the cave with Van. She used her hand to block her eyes from the sunlight. Immediately, her eyes adapted to the sunlight. The girl saw something shocking. She saw a huge rock in front of the cave. Van reminded her that he buried the kids. He said that he buried them under the rock. Ofen asked him about why he chose this enormous rock. Our boy said that he doesn't want monsters to disturb their graves. He said that the children did nothing wrong. He told Ofen that he will let her say her final farewell. Ofen walked up to the rock and placed her hands on it. Tears filled her eyes as she rested her head on the boulder. While crying, she remembered how she and her siblings stood next to Hoxa while he was bleeding on the ground. A man seemed to have beaten up the assassin. The man was from Tees. The man asked Hoxa if he escaped from Tees only to babysit kids. He asked him if he will return to his beautiful assassin form once he kills the kids. The man turned out to be Kezarak. Hoxa begged Kezarak to forgive him. He begged him not to kill the kids. Kezarak turned around and told Hoxa that his missions will be doubled from now on. He asked the assassin to never try to run away if he wants to keep playing orphanage director. After Kezarak left, Ofen asked Hoxa if he is fine. Hoxa smiled and apologized to the kids. He said that he looks pathetic. He hugged them and asked them not to worry. He assured them that he will protect them. Megat told Hoxa that he smells like meat. The man laughed out loud when he heard this. The kids also laughed. Ofen remembered Hoxa showing her the name of the tavern after he opened it up. He asked her if she likes the name. Ofen told him that it is terrible. Hoxa asked her if it is really so bad. The girl remembered how she played with her siblings in their peaceful environment. Although they were not a perfect family, they still managed to make things work. Ofen scratched her bare hands on the rock. She was filled with so much rage. She asked Van if he intends to kill Kezarak. Our boy said that he does. With a look of anger on her face, Ofen asked Van to take her along. She said that she wants to tear the bastard apart. In the next scene, we see a man sniffing the ground. The man turned out to be Mongo. Mongo told his comrade that Van was just in the area some hours ago. He looked at the huge rock and said that Van's scent is very strong around there. His comrade said that this is good news. He said that they will soon meet the one they are searching for. In the next scene, we see a man walking up the stairs. The man went to a door and knocked on it. He went inside and told the person inside that he came to report something to him. The person turned out to be Kezarak. Kezarak rested on his chair without his shirt. He told the man that he already knows that Merkel's gang failed. He referred to Merkel as trash and said that he carefully nurtured trash who only involved himself in back-alley crimes. He said that he is disappointed that Merkel gave him such an ungraceful ending. The man informed Kezerak that Hoxha and Berjetin are also dead. Kezerak sat upright when he heard this. His subordinate informed him that they don't know who is responsible. He said that Mongo and his brother are both pursuing the trail. Kezerak told his subordinate that more graceless variables keep ruining things. The man asked him if this is the work of the Ethos Order who have been tailing them for some time. Kezerak said that it is possible, but the situation feels different. He said that this feels like it is something else. He told him that a foreign third party is intervening. Immediately he said this. He took out a scroll and burned it. Since their culprit took out Hoxha and Berjetin, who are 2 out of the 10 executives, Kezerak asked his subordinate to tell Mongo and Tomoto to stand by even if they find the culprit. The scroll he burnt turned into a portal. Kezerak told the man that this is a critical moment. He told him that they can't afford any more disruptions. The man bowed his head and asked his lord if he should resolve the issue himself. Kezerak told him that there is no need for him to also get involved. Immediately he said this. Kezerak made clothes appear on his body. He told the man that he is heading to the Varkan kingdom right now. He told him that he will leave every petty issue that comes up entirely to him. The man said that he will remember this. The scene shifts, and we are taken to the Varkan kingdom. Someone welcomed Kezerak to the castle. Kezerak asked him about where the king is. The man informed him that the king is waiting for him. He asked him to go in. Kezerak and the man walked forward. He and the man stepped inside the king's courtroom. Kezerak bowed his head to the king and asked him to forgive him for the discourtesy of arriving late to the meeting. The king laughed and asked him not to worry about it. He asked him if he has completed the job he gave him. Kezerak informed him that the coarse sorcerers of the Aran kingdom have been eliminated just as he desired. He told the king that he can rest easy now. He asked him for the promised payment. With a smile on his face, the king told Kezerak that a problem has arisen. He said that their kingdom is ringed by steep mountains and their resources are pitifully lacking. The one land where they could gain diverse resources was lost in the recent war against Aran. Kezerak reminded the king that this is why he entrusted his organization with the task. He reminded him that he asked them to eliminate the key sorcerers of Aran to prevent further losses and reclaim the land that was taken. The king told Kezerak that the T's mercenary group handled the task splendidly. Kezerak asked him about what the problem is. The king stood up from his throne and said that even if he took such actions in pursuit of greatness, it is still normal business among nations. With a disgusting look in his eyes, he asked Kezerak if he knows what will happen if word spreads across the continent that he involved a mercenary group that is infamous for engaging in dirty and vile work into his business. He told the sorcerer that just thinking about it gives him a headache. Immediately he said this, a large amount of warriors came out and the door of the courtroom got locked. Kezerak asked the king if he wants to kill him to erase all traces of his work. The king smiled like a deranged person and told him that there was never any payment promised to him. He said that he spent a lot of money to make his courtroom match that of the Zoe kingdom. Instead of panicking, Kezerak laughed. He laughed like a crazy person. The king asked him if he is going mad before his death. Kezerak released a small amount of energy. He told the king that he is not shocked to see that someone as graceless as him doesn't have anything in his treasury. He said that he was far too complacent. The king advised Kezerak not to struggle. He told him that his resistance will be futile. He explained to him that he has other people beyond the 30 finest sorcerers of Varkan that are gathered there. He revealed to him that he has soldiers stationed in every part of the castle. The king laughed like a crazy person and told Kezerak that he is actually paying him. He explained to him that the money he used to hire the sorcerers there is enough to cover his fee. Kezerak told the king that it is too late. He told him that he brought back the memory he hates the most. Immediately he said this. The man that entered the castle with Kezerak placed his hand on his back. He told Kezerak that the transfer of artificial mana is complete. Kezerak released his energy and said that royalty in small kingdoms and mighty empires are no different in the way they behave. He snapped his finger after saying this. He told the king that his kingdom is finished. He told him that he will take his kingdom as payment. To the king's surprise, nothing happened after Kezerak said this. He laughed and asked the man if he is joking with him. Immediately he said this. A light shined behind him. When he looked outside, he saw that the sky had changed colors. a ridiculously huge statue came out of the sky. The statue began to descend from the sky. The sorcerers in the room quickly ran towards the king. Unfortunately, they were too late. The statue covered the entire palace. The moment it touched the ground, it released a bright light. It destroyed the entire palace in one go. A minute later, we see Kezerak's subordinate call out to him. He told his lord that nothing survived. He said that everything was wiped clean. Kezerak picked up something from the ground and said that things that aren't clean are never beautiful. He picked up the king's crown and carefully looked at it. His subordinate told him that he will guide him to his next destination. Kezerak suggested that they walk this time. He looked at the sky and said that today is particularly beautiful. This overpowered monster with black hair and silver glasses is the leader of Tees. Guys, we have come to the end of our video. If you guys want more of this recap, let me know in the comments section. Don't forget to like and smash that subscribe button for more recaps. See you guys later.